Okay, Beshem Hashem Naaseh V'Natzliach. Purim is coming. It's coming up, and this year Purim is going to be on Erev Shabbat. So there's a concern. What should one do? We just learned in Daf Zayin Amud Bet this mitzvah ad delo yada. So what is behind ad delo yada? So as we learned in Gemara, Amar Rava Mechayevin Shed B'Sume B'Furia ad delo yada ben Arur Haman leBaruch Mordechai, that a person needs to drink so much that he cannot differentiate between Arur Haman and Baruch Mordechai, says the Gemara. And then it goes on to explain the famous Maaseh that happened, Rava and Rabbi Zera, that they had Seudah together and they got drunk. And Rava did the shechita, that which the Havdil, we see what the Arabs do. But Baruch Hashem, there was this nest, and he made him to come alive again. So next year they wanted to have Seudah again, and as the Gemara tells us, so we rejected. Not every time a nest could happen. So we want to actually see what is the essence of this mitzvah. It's a wonderful mitzvah. Yom HaKippurim is compared to Purim, the holiest day of the year, and but we have this mitzvah on Purim that we get drunk and we don't know, the whole day passes. You don't even remember what you did. So our Chachamim teach us perhaps maybe that could be a Maaseh Satan, getting us too much dragged away that we cannot come to pray, to learn, and so many things. Okay, so according to Mefarshim, they explain that the levels to become drunk could be in different levels. Some say it literally needs to be so much that you drink that you become drunk. Rambam teaches us that one should drink until he falls asleep from drunkenness, right? So and then he goes to sleep. So that is extreme being drunk. Meharil says that it takes the statement again literally. He says that one should drink significantly. So that's good drinking. Now there is other poskim that they moderate, so they don't say not really drunkenness, like Rabbeinu Ephraim. Rabbeinu Ephraim goes on to explain that this is such a holy day that you should have it, in order to serve Hashem with Ahavat Hashem. And if you're drunk, you cannot serve Hashem properly. So Rabbeinu Ephraim is moderate, right? He doesn't say, he even goes further to say the dangers of becoming drunk, right? And in all sorts of improper behavior, right? Noting the story that the Gemara says that it got to the point that this one shechted the other one. So Meiri says that the obligation does not literally mean intoxication, but rather drinking enough to experience joy. So that's the simcha shel mitzvah and simcha ella bebasa uveyayin chafetz chaim. How
do you explain ad lo yada then?
So we're going to explain ad lo yada. Some explain that you don't know between Haman and Mordechai, that they both played Hashem's role, right? They both contributed to Am Israel, becoming Baal Teshuvah. There are those who say that which Haman did for Am Israel, right? It didn't happen by Har Sinai. That Haman caused Am Israel to come to Teshuvah be'ahava. That didn't happen by Har Sinai. The Kabbalah Torah by Har Sinai was mitoch yirah, wasn't mitoch ahava. So some say that this Haman gets the credit for that. It's unbelievable. So there are those who completely reject this idea of getting drunk, like Baal HaTanya. Baal HaTanya states that drunkenness is not a mitzvah. He says it's an avera, right? It's becoming shikur, is losing your control. Right? Rav Moshe Feinstein, Zecher Tzaddik Bracha, he clarifies. He says that getting drunk is not a mitzvah and can often lead to improper behavior, right? Which contradicts the essence of Purim, Rav Moshe says. So he would not go for getting, really drunk. Rabbeinu Rav Shlomo Zalman Urbach, he strongly discouraged, right, drunkenness and emphasized that the purpose of Purim is meaningful joy, simcha shel mitzvah, with the seudah, saying divrei Torah, by your meal. There are those mefarshim and poskim say that you have a mitzvah, the Baal Habayit has the mitzvah to make everyone happy. And if he's drunk, he's losing the whole mitzvah, right? Harab Ben Ishchai alav shalom, he says this is symbolic, that you shouldn't really become drunk. This is also the same opinion of Hacham Ben Zion Abu Shaul, Zeches HaBracha. So Ben Ishchai says, Ad Delu Yada does not mean physical drunkenness, but rather a deep level of faith, right? That you drink, right? And you come to the level that you acknowledge that everything is from Hashem, right? Baruch Haman, Arur Haman, Baruch Mordechai. I'm getting there already. Right? So it's unbelievable. It goes on to say, Rif cites the Gemara without additional commentary, right? Implying that you need to really get drunk, right? According to Rosh, it's not exactly clear what is our obligation. Ad Lo Yada, what does that mean? According to Rosh. Rabbeinu Ephraim, we already explained. Rambam says, you go drink, right, a little bit more than usual, and then you go to sleep, and the combination of drinking and sleeping will achieve you the mitzvah of Ad Lo Yada. That's what Rambam says. Many Teimanim follow that, right? Shulchan Aruch and Tur, they both hold the same, that they say literally that you need to drink and you need to get drunk. I remember when I was in Vienna, there was a Rav there, Rav Michael Pesbucher, that helped a lot of Persians to come to United States, and he drank 8 bottles of wine. And he became so drunk that he came to Bet Knesset and he started singing in Farsi, right? And he was saying, I love you all, I love you all in Farsi. Right? He was like unbelievable. He didn't lose his control of, Chas v'Shalom, being, doing any Chilul Hashem or anything. He didn't shecht anybody either. Right? You can't do that in Vienna, right, over there. So maybe in Iran, maybe you could do that. Right? Now, according to Rama Qadosh, he explains, "V'yesh omrim de'en tzarich leishtakel kol kach." Ella sheishte yoter, right? Yoter, you drink a little bit more than usual. That's what the Rama says. Umitoch sheishen eino yodea ben arur haman. So he says, you drink, go sleep, right? Hakol b'shalom. No mess at home, no problems. I remember when I was in Israel Yeshiva, one time I went to this Rav's house. The door got opened. They pushed a bachur out, and there was another apartment in the front of that apartment. That apartment, somehow they opened the door, and this bachur went there, and all of a sudden he vomited in somebody else's apartment. It was a big chilul Hashem, but the timing really worked out. We see Chas v'Shalom, all these tragedies. Lo Aleinu happens on Purim. Why? Because people drink too much, right? And they lose themselves. And Nichnas Yain Yoseh Sod. All of a sudden they say all the credit card numbers and all the debts and whatever, right? The problems, right? Rabbeinu Avigdor says, right, that one should be happy, right? One should make everyone happy, right? And Simcha Baal Habayit needs to be happy. So Meiri says, right, Ein anu mesuvin leishtaker. Meiri says, no, we are not really commanded to become drunk. Now there is so many opinions here. So Chafetz Chaim says in Mishnah Berurah, umitoch sheyashen eino yodea ben arur haman lebaruch Mordechai. So Chafetz Chaim says also, you drink, you go to sleep, right? Arab Ben Sion Abu Shaul, as I mentioned, he goes on the Arichot to say that this is the day that we need to be metaken, that which our forefathers did with wine, that they had Yein Nesech, that they joined this party with the Goyim, And that's why we need to have a simcha, we need to have mishteh, we need to have wine, we need to have a feast. That this feast is going to replace, is going to metaken the sins of our forefathers. So that's why he says you need to be aware of what you're doing.
You have to, when they say you have to go to sleep, are they saying you have to go to sleep on the day of Purim while the sun's out?
That's a good question. I believe so. I believe so. So I guess if you started and Master Rav, I've seen from Harav Eliyahu Netanyahu Shlita, he comes, he drinks more than usual, he goes, sleeps, and then he gets up, he learns. During the day, yeah, he doesn't waste time, right?
Because you're not yotzi for sleeping at night.
Yes, no, it's not night. No, it's not.
It has to do during the day.
It has to be there during the day, right?
People in the morning with breakfast. Drinking wine.
And yes, Hacham Ben Sion Abu Shaul says another explanation that many Mefarshim say that Ad Delo Yada is that you don't know the gematria of Baruch, Mordechai, Arur Haman. You don't know that you can count it or you cannot say it correctly, right? Now there is Maser Rav. My Chabruta, Rabbi David Hekmat Joshilita, he said that back in 2001, he went to Rosh Yeshiva, my Rosh Yeshiva as well, Rosh Yeshiva Aaron Feldman Shlita from Israel, and he took Mishulach Manot, and he wondered why Rosh Yeshiva is not, drunk. Well, he said to Rosh Yeshiva, Rebbe doesn't hold of drinking, and Rosh Yeshiva said that he joined the Seudah Shel Purim, the Seudat Purim of many. Stiper Agaon. He joined the Rav Ruderman, Rav Shach, Rav Schneiderman, Alehem Shalom, and none of them got drunk. Right? So Rav Ovadia Yosef Alav Shalom also he didn't get drunk. He drank more than usual a little bit, and then he went to sleep. Right? Now Kisur Shulchan Aruch says, "V'chen mi sheyodea be'asmo she'al yedei chen yezalzel chas v'shalom be'ez mitzvah." Right? בברכה או בתפילה או שיבוא חס ושלום לקלות ראש מוטב שלא להשתכר. If a person knows that he's going to act inappropriately, he cannot daven, he cannot pray. Many times we see Talmidei Chachamim that unfortunately they cannot daven, they cannot say Bikat Hamazon, they mix up the Bikat Hamazon with some other Zemirot, or instead of davening Tefillah Shel Chol, they daven Tefillah Shabbat. I've seen it, right? So it's not worth it. As our Chachamim teach us, wherever there is the biggest Kedusha, right, there is the biggest Nisayon. And Purim, as it says, that Yom HaKippurim is compared to Purim, it's such a holy day, and we need to take advantage of it. Be'ezat Hashem, this Purim, Haba Alenu Letova, Besimcha Rabba, that everything should be kosher, Yosher, and Be'ezat Hashem, and through Simcha Shel Mitzvah, we should have true happiness by seeing Mashiach Tzidkenu B'mehera B'yameinu. Amen.